All right, everyone, we're going to talk sparkling wine here. We really enjoy our sparkling wine here at Silt, as do our customers. It's nice to try all three of these wines. These are all Chenin Blanc, all from actually Block 44 on this ranch next to the tasting room. And we do often get questions about what's the difference. And so we're going to talk about that today. First of all, we're going to, while we do this, it's nice to drink something. And so I'm going to open up our Pet Nat. This is one we probably sell the least of because I think it's the least understood of our sparkling wines. The Pet Nat, you'll notice, had the crown on it, and that is common. That's like the calling card for Pétillant Naturel. That's the full name of it, Pétillant Naturel. And this is the original way of making sparkling wine. We take our base wine or our juice or grapes, we press them, and then into a tank, start the fermentation, and we pick them at about 18 or 19 bricks. And then when it gets down to 2 bricks, we actually bottle it in this bottle. And then we put a crown on it. And then we age it. This wine was aged for 18 months. And so it still has yeast in there. And it creates complexity over that aging time. And then when we decide, okay, we're ready to finish this aging process, then we take I'll use this bottle. We start riddling it, and we get all that yeast and sludge at the bottom, and we have it upside down, and then we and remember, it has this type of crown on it, and we pull it off and tip it back up, and then fill it back up to about here with more Chenin Blanc wine, and then put a new crown on it, and then that's it. And it's carbonated, naturally carbonated, and there will always, it's unfiltered, so there's always still a little bit of sludge, yeast sludge at the bottom of it, but it's just all good stuff, and it helps to age even further. So on this wine, you really get kind of some yeasty characters, yeasty notes, with kind of a sweet tangerine kind of character to it. It's really a wonderful wine right now. It's actually my favorite of the sparkling wines because it's just so different. So then we have our we'll go to let's talk about the method. So method traditionnel. So method traditionnel is the champagne method. We can't call this champagne because we are in California. We're not in Champagne, which is a region in France. So the region of Champagne had a big problem with that in the 90s and said, hey, you guys can't call your sparkling wine champagne. And so we call it method traditionnel. And this wine is, as the name calls it, it's the traditional method of making sparkling wine now, where it's a double fermentation. So you create a base wine first, then so you ferment it dry, and then you bottle that base wine with a little bit of sugar and yeast in this same bottle, and then you actually crown it as well. And then you age that way. And doing it this way makes it far more consistent than the Pétillant Naturel version. And then after aging, then you do the same thing. You take the crown off, you riddle it, get the yeast down at the bottom, take the crown off, and then it's commonly packaged with a cork like this and what we call the cage. So that's kind of your more traditional champagne. Then we have our Charmant method sparkling. So this, again, Chenin Blanc tastes great. This is, I believe, our #1 seller in the tasting room. A very good wine. But this is often called, it's Charmant method, also called the Prosecco method. So if you're a fan of Italian Prosecco, this is made in the same way. We make the base wine, and then we have it in a tank that can hold pressure. So we make this off-site at Rack and Riddle. I make the base wine in Clarksburg, send it to Rack and Riddle, and then we add that same thing that we added, the yeast and the sugar, or concentrate, grape concentrate, that we add in this process, in the method traditional. we do the same thing with this wine, but we do it in a big tank. And then it creates pressure, and then you bottle it under pressure. And that's how this is made. So it ages on that yeast a lot less time than this one would. But it's still a very clean, really fun, wonderful wine. It'll be a lot more fruity, I would say. This one has more fruit-driven notes, where this has some of those yeasty, toasty notes as well. And then our rosé, sparkling rosé, that new one, that is also made in the same way, the Charmat method. So if you have any questions about sparkling wine, shoot me an email, ask Julia, and she knows everything now, so she can tell you, or if she doesn't know, she'll text me. So thanks, guys.